The reason that I wake up in the morning, the reason that I pick up a pen, the reason that I do anything, the reason that I've ever loved an idea is that I'm in a pursuit of trying to make anyone on the outside feel less alone and more connected to the many on the inside. I'm going to talk a little bit about purpose. And we talk a lot about, in this industry, a lot about the purpose of a brand or the purpose of a business or even the purpose of our own agencies. And we don't really talk that much about our own individual purposes. I don't think that much. I certainly haven't done. I'm very lucky to have a personal coach. Not for anything sporty, as you can tell, but to help me with stuff at work, with decisions, with stuff that's going on in every single way. And one of the things that she has always, she's amazing by the way, one of the things that she has always really pushed me on is my personal purpose. And the reason for that is she, and unsurprisingly, I think this is true for all of us, says that, you know, the values and the things that I hold really strongly, when I'm living by those, I'm kind of at my best. I'm at my best as a work colleague, I'm at my best in terms of the ideas that I'm coming up with, and ultimately the ideas that I'm making. And I've sort of always rejected the word purpose a little bit, because I don't know about you guys, but particularly when it's talking about like yourself, I sort of feel a little bit pompous and like a bit of a wanker. You know, like it feels a bit worthy, like, you know, my purpose is, and I love it if people do, like I'm so jealous of people who are like, my purpose is to make the world a better place in really deep and meaningful ways. And I suppose I've always felt, not ashamed, but a bit like I haven't got a clarity on that. And then the last time I was with her, I was having a particular rant about, just actually wasn't a rant, it was just a sort of a flow of consciousness. And I said this line, and she made me repeat it, and she went, well, that's your purpose. So if I can be grand enough to read it out to you, I've rewritten it a bit to make it sound a bit cleverer than what I wrote, because it wasn't actually as good when I said it straight to her. But anyway, in essence, it basically was this, which is, if I sum it up, the reason that I wake up in the morning, the reason that I pick up a pen, the reason that I do anything, the reason that I've ever loved an idea, is that I'm in a pursuit of trying to make anyone on the outside feel less alone and more connected to the many on the inside. I don't want you all to cry, and I don't want that to sound saccharine, and I'm a very happy outsider, but I have always been an outsider, and I know what that feels like, and I've always been trying to connect, not because I want to be part of the mainstream, but I want to be accepted in some shape or form. I want to retain who I am, but I want to feel part of something bigger. And there are many ways to do that. There are many ways to connect people. I get that. You can inform people, you can educate them, and that's incredibly worthy and worthwhile and brilliant and necessary. But that's engaging with the mind. And maybe it's a reflection on the levels of my mind, but I feel more moved and feel more strongly when my heart is engaged. And I believe that when you can connect people through joy and through laughter and through a sense of entertainment, you can inform and educate in a different way, but in a way that potentially is more meaningful and more everlasting. I hope to fuck I'm not sounding like a preachy wanker, and I hope I haven't got too sentimental in my old age, but this stuff really means something to me, because when I look around at the stuff we create, at the world of creativity, I just wish I saw a little bit more of it, because I know I could dig it. And like I said before about my missus, not that I'm calling her a snob in any way, because she would come down here and beat me. But I do sometimes think that the things that are joyous or humorous can be seen as lacking some depth or some importance, and therefore are seen as a little bit more throwaway and a bit of a nice to have, which I fundamentally disagree with, because I believe it comes from a really profound understanding of the human psyche. And it comes from, again, I don't want to get too deep, but I think great creativity comes from knowing pain. And what joy and laughter and entertainment do, I think, is give us all a much needed respite and a sense of feel good, and most importantly, a sense of hopefulness. I've become, I was about to say I got man flu, which is quite impossible because I've got boobs, but I got flu and I moaned on about it for a bit. Sorry, boys, but you do. And my missus was like, oh, just put on something that will cheer you up. And I came to this show very, very late, very, very late. It was about 3 weekends ago. and I binged Ted Lasso. Who's watched Ted Lasso here? Oh, do we love? Oh, man alive. And I've ruined it for my wife now because I've ranted about it for so long. I've even included it in this. And I read a lot of the reviews. And so I was like, why do I dig this? What is it that's made it win all the awards and all the rest of it? And it was so interesting that universally, and I'm going to talk about sort of the times that we're in right now, but a bit later, but universally, bar none, the thing that people talked about this sort of phenomena was, it was this beautifully told outsider's tale, and he is literally an outsider, obviously, as an American in the UK as a football coach. But I think the bigger thing about it was the fact that at its heart, it's about kindness, and it is about joy, and it makes your heart feel good. So if you'll indulge me, I thought we'd have a little moment of Ted Lasso. But the origin of Ted Lasso, which is, you guys all know because like, you work in the industry and stuff, is it was actually it came from a commercial many moons ago, 11 years ago, and then a few years ago it was obviously made into the show. But this was the first incarnation of Ted Lasso. It was a little bit more angry, which I quite liked.
Hey, how you doing? This is Ted Lasso. I'm the new head coach of the Tottenham Hotspurs, and I'd like to talk to the Queen, please. My name's Ted Lasso. I'm new head coach for Tottenham Spurs. Been brought over here to implement my coaching style.
Football's football no matter where you play it. You got grass, you got cleats, and you got helmets with masks on them.
Football in the States is my specialty, but they have a different kind of football over here.
Kick it! Circle them up, have them put on their pads, and let's start playing for real. They're wearing their pads, Coach.
There's a lot of small similarities.
Any team I coach, they're going to play hard for all 4 quarters, okay?
2 halves.
What's that?
2 halves.
Okay, halves. We're going to play hard for 2 halves. And we're going to play till there's a winner and there's a loser. What's that?
A tie.
Okay, till there's a winner, a loser, or a tie. You can tie.
If you tried to end a game in a tie in the United States, heck, that might be listed in Revelations as the cause for the apocalypse.
Yeah, do we have any goals this season? Absolutely. We're going to win a lot of games. We're going to get in the playoffs.
No playoffs.
There's no playoffs. Again, my job just got a lot easier. Ties and no playoffs. Why do you even do this?
One of the issues I've had is what tackling was.
There you go, tackle him. What the hell? That's not a tackle. It's just sliding around.
Soccer tackle, sir.
All right there, Gary. That's how you tackle.
To prepare for this job, read a lot of books, watched a lot of game films. But to be honest with you, the best way to learn how to play this game is to play this game.
The square, goal.
Circle.
Circle's goal. See, I got you a little dosey-do. You don't know what to do. There you go. Good stop. Okay.
Game over? Yeah, it's over for now. 15-0, huh? We're going to go on a rematch. Yeah, they do things a little bit differently. Part of me finds some of the things they do a little silly.
Pass it in. Well, you keep passing it backwards. What's going on here?
It's nice to be able to go backwards and forwards and not have some ref make a big deal about it.
Will you explain to me how that was offside? No, I'm asking you. Seriously, explain offside to me. It made no sense.
Well, the first thing I had to do when getting this job was learn about the competition. We came up with the flashcard system in order for me to make American comparisons to English teams. All I had to do was link what I don't know to what I do know.
Manchester United. Super rich, everybody either loves them or hates them.
Dallas Cowboys.
Liverpool. Used to be great, haven't won a title in a really long time.
Also Dallas Cowboys.
Cardiff City, Dragons on the crest.
What's that hot girl's name from Game of Thrones?
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi.
Manchester City.
Jennifer Lawrence.
West Ham United.
Pickup trucks. Because of that training that I did, I guarantee that we're going to beat the Cowboys and Jennifer Lawrence. Has there been a learning curve? I would say a little bit.
Starting to understand why these scores are so low. Look how tiny these goals are.
Those are practice goals, Coach.
He knocked in that ball with his head. Is that legal?
Totally legal.
Hey, that's, wow, 3 points.
No points.
No points. Why not?
It's gotta go in.
Come on, Rob. You gotta get it in there to get 3 points.
1 point.
They got like an application for a phone. I can learn the rules. What are these, trust exercises? Who's orange shoes there?
Gareth Bale.
That's Gareth Bale. Where he's from? He's from England?
Wales.
Wales. Wait, that's another country?
Yes and no.
How many countries are in this country?
4.
But I'm learning, and I want to learn. These young men, they just would not understand exactly what I was trying to get them to do.
Guys, all I'm looking for is 60% effort 4,000% of the time. That's it, skip. Skip like little girls. Go, not a care in the world. I'm lucky to be doing this for a living. Everybody just do the robot.
You got to ride a few players a little bit harder than some of the other players.
Blondie, you are killing me.
John, what do you got on there pants-wise? What is those?
3 quarters. And I get those in the women's section, John. Pick up the ball with your hands. That is a violation.
In an act of solidarity, I spent an entire day not using my hands out of respect towards the game. And I think that went pretty well. I think it garnered a lot of respect from the players. They appreciated not only the fact that I could do most activities without the use of my hands, but that I just tried. After a few days of practice, players gave me a nickname. It started small, but now they'll chant it at me every now and then. That's pretty nice.
What's the nickname?
Wanker.
Do you know what it means?
I think it just means great. Like just like a nice guy, like, you know, kind heart, you know, someone that listens, someone that'll push you. A wanker is someone that doesn't mind being alone, you know, likes to sit with his thoughts. Well, with any new job, you got to anticipate a learning curve. But I tell you what, I'm in Tottenham, and I'm here to stay. You can guarantee that. 1 second here. Oh, nope, I got fired.
Premier League is on NBC and the NBC Sports Network, live on TV, online or on the go.
Is there a third kind of football maybe I could look into?